Good morning, guys. This is Pushpak Raj, and today's topic is on what is the difference between the smoke testing and sanity testing. This is the important topic in the software testing field. In maximum organization, perform that testing, that is the smoke testing and sanity testing. Some organization will perform the smoke testing, and some organization will perform the sanity testing. Okay, so this is the important topic. So you can concentrate it on that, and maximum interviews use or ask this question: what is the smoke testing and what is the sanity testing. Firstly, I will tell you the difference, guys, between the smoke testing and sanity testing. Once you can clear the difference, then I will create a separate video on the smoke testing and sanity testing. Okay, so first difference is test coverage in smoke testing and sanity testing. Okay, so test coverage means smoke testing is a broad approach to testing where all part of the application are tested. Suppose you can test any one application, like mm suppose Amazon application, Flipkart application, you have to check that application. So what is meant by the smoke testing? Smoke testing is a broad approach to testing where all the part of the applications are tested. Means from starting, means login page to the home page, up to all the functionality of the application you can test in the smoke testing. Okay, and in the sanity testing is a narrow approach to testing where a specific part of the application are tested. There is a only difference is what here is you can test the specific part. Okay, here you can test the all parts. Specific parts means a selected part, like you can test the login functionality. In the homepage functionality you can test those part which will be used maximum time by the customer. So that part you can check in the sanity testing. Like that we can check the specific part of the application. Move to the second measure measures in the smoke and sanity testing. In the smoke testing, measure the stability of the system by performing a rigorous testing. Okay, and in the sanity testing, measure the rationality of the system by performing the rigorous testing. Then third is technique in the smoke testing and sanity testing. This this testing can be either manual or can be automated. You can perform the smoke testing either by manually or either by automated. In the manually means you can test that application, like whatever the way customer use the application, in that way you can performing the smoke testing. Or in the automation testing means you can write the script. You can write the script in the automation way, like using Java or Python, or on that way you can test that application. So this point tells us that this testing can either manually can be automated. But in sanitary testing, this testing can done without test cases or test script. Okay, without test case and test script means you cannot write any test cases or test script for the sanity testing. You can randomly test that application in manually. Okay, executed by smoke and sanity testing. Smoke testing is performed by the both tester and developer, is performed by the only tester. Okay, the smoke testing, you know that developer write the script and make the programs or create the application. So they can test this, they can performing the testing also, or tester means we are performing the testing on the smoke testing case. In the sanity testing we perform only by the tester, means we are the testers, means we can only performing the sanity testing. Developer cannot perform the sanity testing, guys. Next point is purpose of smoke testing and sanity testing. Testing is done without getting into deep, but whenever needed, tester has go into the deep. Means what that point tell us? Testing is done without getting into deep. Means as I told you guys, we can performing the testing all parts. All part testing means we can test the login page, home page. Inside the home page there are the multiple functionality, you know, guys, like searching option, there are the number of products, buy options. So here we can what the smoke testing is do. Testing is done without getting into deep, means we cannot go into much deeper. We can not go into much deeper, but if needed, then it it needed, then tester has go into the deep. But in the sanity testing does not need to go into the deep of application. Means uh, main functionality of the application we can test in the sanity testing. Okay, then move to the next point, that is the perform at. Okay, smoke testing is the first testing performed on the initial build, and sanity testing is performed when the build is completely stable. What is the difference between that? Smoke testing is first testing is performed on the initial build. Initial build means what? Firstly, build means what? The whatever the module is prepared by the developer. Module means what? Login page is module, home page is module. Inside the home page there are the multiples modules, like product page, different product page. Okay, so that is called as a module. So when you are doing work in the organization, what happening, guys? You can getting the module by module means maximum organization work on the agile methodology. I have already created the video on the agile methodology. What is meant by agile methodology? Agile methodology is a methodology where you can getting the software in piece means what? The developer do the work on the login page, and login page is completely prepared. He can forward that to the testing for testing on the login page only. So that is the module check means piece of software. You can test piece of software one by one. You can test the piece of software, and finally you can, once all the piece of software are tested, then finally performing the, we can combine all that software and finally performing the single testing. Okay, so that is called as a smoke testing is first testing performed on the initial build, and sanity testing is performed where the build is completely stable. Build is completely stable means what? There is a no error in that build at time performing the sanity testing. Documentation in the smoke testing and sanity testing. Smoke testing is documented, sanity testing is not documented. Documentation is nothing but, guys, whatever the test cases and test scenarios we are writing, that is called as a documented. Means smoke testing is documented means we can performing the smoke testing by using documentation, and sanity testing is not documented. Means documentation is nothing but, guys, whatever the mm, um, test data we can getting, on the basis of that, on 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 the documentation means whatever the test data we get it, that is also called as a documentation. Okay, and use to smoke and sanity testing, it is used to test the end-to-end function of the application. As I am already told you that, guys, we can test the all part of the application in the smoke testing. So that's why it is called as it is used to test the end-to-end function of the application. It is used to test the modified or defect fix functions. Means whatever the defect fix or the functionality is perfectly fine, that time we are performing the sanity testing. Okay, last point is subset of smoke and sanity testing. It is considered as a subset of acceptance testing. It is considered as a subset of regression testing. Means smoke testing we also call as acceptance testing, and sanity testing is also called as a regression testing. I think you understand the difference between the smoke testing and sanity testing, guys. If you are not understand, I will specially create a video on the smoke testing and sanity testing. After watching this video, you can watch that video, you can clear understanding of that. Okay, please like that video, subscribe it, and I have created the multiples video on the in the manual testing which are maximum time asked in the interview. I only created the video which will ask in the interview, guys. So please subscribe it. You are getting the list of videos.